Well, no, this is a story I started in 1984 when I was very spiritually involved in Canada with my church and with the prayer groups, but particularly the charismatic group. And after writing it, and I put it one side. And now during the epidemic, I managed to see it again and revived it and rewrote it, and here it is. It is in fact a testimony of my spiritual growth, because I was not always spiritual before that, before 1983. I was very much a man of business, very socially active, leading what you would call the hedonistic lifestyle of the here and now. But all these things change, and all these things come to an end. And in the end, what are you left? You're left with very little, except one thing, and that is God. That has been my realization. And I tell in this book how God guided me in many instances. I use something like 20 little anecdote stories of how God worked in my life.
When you were working in Canada and you sort of found your faith, as it were, and how this book, you'd kind of started it, but then you put it down and then you picked it up again during the pandemic. I was going to ask you how long it's taken you to get this done, but it seems like it's taken a long time.
Well, it's taken many years fermenting. The grapes were crushed, and then I allowed them to ferment. So and fermenting in good oak. So it's now ready. The vintage is now ready in this form, and there are many things that I touch in the book which are spiritual. I love talking, about the power of hands that is shown in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. And I made an analysis of this wonderful gift that God has given man, to use man's hands to do God's work.
And you dedicate the book to a number of individuals that have meant a lot in your life, in particular, of course, close family, the work that your sister and your brother did as well.
Yes, of course. My brother was a great influence in my life. I am not ashamed of talking about Christianity, like I told you before, because my roots, I reckon, come from the day that St. Paul landed shipwrecked in the island of Melita, which is present-day Malta. And from there, when Paul converted the savages in that island to Christianity, that's where I come from the island that St. Paul converted.